Howdy. Continuing with mountain water because, yeah, it is an actual theme. The actuality of it is, so to say, immense or massive, even. I just wanted to point out a few things which are in my paper and which we maybe, probably, should take into account when watching the things I'm going to show you after this. Mountain water, a new approach to mountain forming, volcanism, glaciers, and the role of water in an electric environment. Abstract. People settle near water. Almost life forms need water. Water is very important for life on Earth. Consensus theory explains the circle of water through evaporation, precipitation, accumulation. Meteorologists don't know much about volcanoes. Volcanologists don't know much about weather. This is how modern science works, specialists for every small diversification of whatever science branch. How could anyone within that paradigm ever get a holistic picture of the whole? It is full of contradictions, misinterpreted results, and it also seems to keep certain mysteries alive. Most of them could be more easily understood just by not being ignorant towards knowledge from laboratory experiments and peer-reviewed papers made decades ago. This paper is a thought-provoking new approach to the formation and activities of the Alps, and many of its features as a part of the greater environment. It is also meant as a serious warning for millions of people living in the Alps region. Yeah, you could probably take this to all other mountain chains in the whole world. But since I talk more or less about the Alps, but it's also for the Alps, which spans from the North Sea down to the Mediterranean Sea and from the Black Sea to the Atlantic. Massive changes in the environment have been taking place in the past, and it is crucial to understand that we are dealing with cyclical events. They are recurrent and will happen again in the future. So, this is where I really started to think about what's going on. Textbooks and geoscientists may be wrong about how the Alps were formed. Yeah. So now let's scroll a little bit down. We have the cycles. It's a recurrent event, 6,000, 12,000, and smaller cycles, 400 years and stuff like that. Earth is a leaky capacitor in space. If the current which is flowing through it fluctuates, the capacitor either takes energy in or it discharges. You can read, I recommend you to read the paper. But now here's a picture. We have a dragon castle and the river Rhine. And that's in Germany. So now here you can follow the situation in the rockfall area live. A rockfall is imminent in the mountain village of Brienz, Graubünden. The live camera shows the current developments. So here's the live stream. Let's see if we can make it bigger. No. Can we zoom in? Also that doesn't work. Yeah, in a way. But obviously we have something going on here. Oh. There is dust rising. And we are watching at the municipality of Albula, Alvra. Earlier, when I have been watching this a little bit, I made a screen recording. And the reason why is I noticed there has been some clouds moving up there. And they seem to rise there from that certain place. And now it's a rather short video. I'm trying to save memory. But that's a live stream, even though on first glance there doesn't happen anything. But there is. And I didn't have time yet to really check this out, but I just want to point out these clouds here. They are rising, and it's almost impossible to say where exactly they are emerging. But you can see how they are moving. They are rising up. So, quickly back to this paper, to my paper, where we have the Dragon Castle and the River Rhine. And this is the area where this landslide is going on. And I don't know how it does this all the time. But let's go to Street View. Because there is one location here, really at the bottom of this landslide. And this is the island, I think, as they call it, a bulge, which has a different color, and it seems to grow faster than other places within the same area. Another thing I noticed is that, I don't know if it's visible, where is it? Somewhere here. No, it's probably not visible here, but anyway, let's check out this street view. This is the island, and this is 5 years ago. It's not possible to zoom in anymore, but yeah, I think I remember. I think it was visible here on that, because that's drone footage. It took a while for me to figure that out, but there is a water body. And it seems someone constructed something here, which might indicate that there is more or less all the time water. In other words, it's not probably related or dependent on precipitation. Otherwise, we just probably would have it after rainfall or in springtime, and then it would dry up. And that's the village which is evacuated. There is no one living there at the moment because they had to leave. And also one thing I noticed, if you look at the background here, there are some of those mountaintops shrouded in clouds. And again, that's the location where we are now, or I'm following it to the degree it is possible for me to follow that, where the landslide is occurring. So now, let's put those off. Then we zoom out a little bit. And there is a water body here, a river. Let's follow that downstream. And it's going into another river somewhere here. Here, Albula. The name of the river is Albula. And here we have another river where they meet or join each other. And that's rather important because it is the river Rhine. And Now let's zoom out as far as we need to. The location we have been just is somewhere here. The river Rhine goes here, 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 and here, and more north. Here we have the Kaiserstuhl Volcano. Okay, Kaiserstuhl. Mountain range it is called here, but it is a volcano. But the most important thing is to note that in this case, the river Rhine. So, we have a straight connection from this dragon castle to a volcano to this massive landslide which is going on. In the paper you also find this map which talks about geothermal activity. Once again, the river Rhine, the Kaiserstuhl Volcano. Here we have fulgurites, Roman baths, which are still in use. Of course, you can there go bathing for free. I made videos about that, you can find it if you are interested. But also, the connection between the ground and the heavens, jewel antennas, sea urchin spines, and I think mountain peaks are the same thing as are volcanoes. I have been making videos about pondering the possibility of a volcano with a rather static ash cloud or ash emissions or gas emissions, or let's just say activity. They might be some kind of antennas for energy to go in and out. So here in my paper I have also this picture, which is in this case very bad quality. But I have found this picture because there was a quake and it turned out that there's also a thermal bath. And if you look at this picture and just ignore the really bad quality, you probably could think that this looks like a volcano. But I leave it up to you. The following picture, figure 14, is from Google Earth. I found this picture while checking out an earthquake in an interesting region of the Alpes. It is a very nice example of an energy exchange between Earth and sky. Maybe it could be called something like an alpine argent spine, since the primary principle is the same. So that's a windy webcam. I have been searching some time ago today. And Lenserheide bits calotas. Not only do we have a very interesting lens flare here, because it has this kind of layers here, which is very interesting. The reason for that is because there is a lake. But the landslide going on, which you can see on the live stream, is here. And it's visible if we go to the next day. Because I think here there's visible that there's a dust cloud going on. I think the landslide is here and Brienz is below that. It's behind the corner. Nonetheless, there is a mountain here. And I was searching for a webcam in order to see the mountain, because I wanted to see if there's anything going on with the clouds there. And there hasn't been too much activity, but nonetheless, a little bit. It's really hard to say how close those clouds are to the peak. Are they like behind that? Like, you know, several kilometers, for example. I don't know. But there has been at least here, I think this is really touching the peak. I just made a screenshot so we can zoom in. Yeah, I think this is touching the peak of the mountain. So these clouds are connected to the mountain, so to say. Going on further in time, maybe also here is something going on. Maybe also here. Now let's make a screenshot again. This goes down here towards that peak. We have a little bit clouds here, just hugging the mountain, and also here this seems to go or be connected to the peak. Also here maybe. Here. Yes, definitely. Definitely this peak is in the clouds. Then there is night, the moon. This is a very beautiful picture. Maybe here on the left side, they are all connected to the mountain, these clouds. And now the peak is above the clouds, and there's like a little bit lower clouds there. But there are clouds rather close to the mountain, and as here, there are again around the mountain where we have this very nice lens flare. There's the lake, and then the sun is hitting. This looks rather interesting. But anyway. So, it seems there is something going on like this as well, where we have the landslide. Yeah. It has undeniable visual similarities with a breathing volcano. But let's go quickly still back to Brienz on Google Maps. Because here you can switch to terrain, which is not possible on Google Earth. It would be a very cool thing. And if you go up here to the mountain, now let's just explain what are we looking at. Here is Brienz, here is the landslide area, and here on top of the landslide, there is a water vein marked. Which is rather short. Switching to satellite, you cannot see anything. But we have houses. And like I said many times, water is very important. You cannot live anywhere if you don't have water. So there are several houses there, and I guess they have water running. Maybe they just had to drill a little bit, or maybe not even that. Let's turn it around. It's easier to. So now it looks better. We have those trees here. Switching to terrain. you will notice that there's the waterway. Going back to satellite once again. And on the other side, so these were the trees. Here's the waterway. And that's the area which is collapsing. That's the island within, which is growing faster than the rest. So in other words, above this landslide, there is a waterway which is going somewhat perpendicular to the landslide. And we have a water body on the lower side of this landslide. Water in here, water body somewhere here. So why there shouldn't be any possibility that there is water coming out of this mountain there, that which is the reason for this landslide in the first place. Because I really doubt that this is the elevation of that area is so high that there would be permafrost which would keep the mountain together. And I could talk on and on, but I still wanted to show you some other footage of the other landslide which happened in Austria, which is basically not too far from where we are here. So here is one landslide going on where we have this mark, I guess, and the other one is near Galtür, somewhere here. So they are rather close. And I'm not too sure, I didn't have time yet to check it out, but Galtür. They are talking about Galtür, and I don't know if it's marked here, this mountain. I don't actually remember the name of it. Maybe it's on this side, maybe it's on the other side. But now we are talking about the next landslide. And here we have a water body at the bottom of the valley. We have a waterway in here, a spring starting here. We have lakes on top of mountains. Let's switch to satellite. Lakes. There are many, many, many. So now let's check out this other footage I found, and then I will continue another time about this. And I'm just watching. I have been watching for footage. That's the only thing. Gipfel abgebrochen. Massiver Felssturz in Tirol beobachtet. I thought it translate that, but it didn't. Doesn't matter. Let's just watch this footage. Sorry for the interruption. But that's just very interesting. And massive. We have to go still a bit more back in time, because I wanted to point out these clouds in the background of that. They are not too well visible, but let's just try to see them. They seem to move rather quickly upwards. Yeah, water. But anyway, thank you for watching. There would be so much other stuff. And stuff related to really exact this theme, which I didn't mention, but that's already a very long video. Yeah, thanks.